The best graphics card isn't normally the fastest graphics card. That honor goes to the Titan V, or at least the GTX 1080 Ti. Similarly, the best card isn't the least expensive option, because while there are cards like the RX 560 and GTX 1050 that deliver great value, performance is still a factor. The best graphics card is one that can strike a balance between high performance and a reasonable price. NVIDIA's GTX 1070 has been at or near the top of the heap since it launched, and once cryptocurrency mining leaves our damn hobby alone, it should return to its rightful place, if the newer GTX 1070 Ti doesn't claim top honors. Short of 4K gaming, where the GTX 1070 can struggle, it remains the overall champion. It also manages to do all this while using significantly less power than AMD's competing Vega 56, 150 watts versus 210 watts, though the Vega 56 can in some cases use a lot more than 210 watts. NVIDIA's Pascal architecture improves performance thanks mostly to the move from 28nm planar transistors to TSMC's current 16nm FinFET transistors, which shrinks the GPU size, reduces power leakage, and allows for higher clocks. Where the base clock of 980T is 1000 MHz, stock, the 1080 runs at 1506 MHz base clock, with turbo and factory overclocked cards often running at 1800 to 2000 MHz. Even with fewer CUDA cores, 1920 on the 1070 versus 2816 on the 980T, the added clock speed and architectural enhancements keep the 1070 in the lead. Which isn't to say that you'd necessarily want to upgrade from a 980T to the 1070. We generally recommend skipping a generation or two between graphics card upgrades, though you can try selling your existing card to help defray the upgrade cost. If you need the fastest GPU possible, look to our next pick in the 1080T, but if you're already running a 980T and are happy with its performance, just sit back and wait for the next generation of upgrades in 2018. Which GTX 1070 should you buy? Unless you really want the Angular Founders Edition and are willing to pay a higher price, we'd go for pretty much any of the 8 partner cards. Asus, EVGA, Gigabyte, MSI, PNY, Zotac and others make custom 1070 cards, and particularly for single GPU configurations we would recommend any of those. For most people the least expensive card is probably the best choice, unless you're specifically looking for a longer manufacturer warranty or are willing to pay for a factory overclock. Other new features may come into play over the coming years, further improving Pascal GPU performance. One of the coolest new features is simultaneous multi-projection, SMP, which allows the GPU to calculate up to 16 projections in a single pass. Why would you need multiple projections in a game? For multi-screen surround setups, it can get rid of the distortion you see with curved side displays. More pertinent for most people is the potential improvements in VR performance, since each eye requires its own projection. NVIDIA claims that with SMP in a VR title, Pascal, GTX 1080, is up to twice as fast and 3 times as efficient as the Titan X, Maxwell. SMP can also enable enhancements like multi-res shading, where different parts of the screen are rendered at different resolutions, a feature that has been used in a few recent games. What's not to like? It really comes down to pricing, as the GTX 1070 is quite expensive. People are also looking for the next big thing, like NVIDIA's future Volta architecture, but outside of the Titan V we don't expect to see that for at least several more months, if not longer. Our advice: don't get too stressed out about finding the perfect time to upgrade to a newer, faster card, because something better is always right around the corner. If you're in the market for a high-end gaming card right now, the GTX 1070 is an excellent choice. And you probably should have bought one a year ago.
Jangan lupa like dan subscribe.